So the music stops and all we can hear now is the ambient shouting of the market stall, the chopping of the meat, which again emphasises the different culture, the different foods that this culture eats, but also kind of reflects the danger that her brother's in, which is why May finds herself in China in the first place. Here the camera has a slight handheld effect in the medium close-up of May. She's centrally framed, trying to navigate her way through the market stall. Her face shows that it's very unfamiliar, very daunting for her. She's not sure if she feels comfortable in this situation, even though you would assume that she would feel comfortable in this circumstance.
Is this the first time that you have been here? My mum and dad brought me here when I was 10, but I don't remember much. Most of the city was not built then.
So the last time May was here was when she was 10, and Pan replies saying most of the city wasn't built then. So it could suggest new wealth, new incoming wealth, or the fact that the wealthy traders have kind of built this huge city around poverty, which is what we see in a moment. As May delves deeper into the market, we have these match cuts, and again, there's low-key lighting. It's very claustrophobic. Just to kind of give that effect of, that people don't have a lot of money here. Very different to where she's come from in England. Here we have these close-up shots of the fish, which look quite ominous. Again, is not part of the British diet necessarily, so it kind of shows that cultural difference. The handheld shots here in the medium close-up again kind of put us slightly behind May, as if she's nervous. She's getting deeper into this village and she's becoming quite anxious about meeting her birth mother.
Almost there.
That's an eyeline match. Again, May's quite shocked to find her surroundings. She doesn't quite feel comfortable here. So we've got the tilt up. You can hear a baby crying. Again, it just adds to this kind of atmosphere of poverty. Quite a long take here as well. So in terms of the pace of the edit, we have a long take, tracking shot as well, of May walking through this village, which again emphasises the tension and builds up the emotion of the scene.
Is there any way I can see her before she sees me? I don't think that is going to be possible. The home is very small.
It's interesting in this shot as well. So we've got the medium close-up of May. We don't cut to pan. We don't have the shot reverse shot like we normally would in this situation when there's a conversation. And I think the effect is the fact that we see the tension and the nervousness on May's face.
Okay.
Here we get the tilt up so we can see where this house is. So it almost looks like a shanty house, it's all just being cobbled together. Very different from where May's from. So we've got the match cut of Pan entering the property. We have a shot reverse shot there of May meeting her mother. So shot reverse shot and they enter the house. May's mother doesn't speak English, she speaks Chinese, and May doesn't understand that.
Take off your shoes.
May's having to take off her shoes, which is customary when you visit someone's house, but obviously it shows that her mother takes great pride in her home, even though May looks quite nervous to be there because it's very, very different from her experience at her adoptive parents' house in England. Shot reverse shot. We can see that May's mother's making tea. So again there you've got a bit of sound perspective, so the sound of the water going into the teapot is mixed quite loud. So I think again it's emphasising tradition, the fact that her mother is very traditional Chinese. May at this point in time is actually in shallow focus, so we can't see May, and again it might show how disconnected she is from her birth mother because she can't speak the language, so she can't understand what they're actually talking about. Here we have another blocking shot where we're kind of peering at May through the bars. Again, it might show how trapped she is emotionally, and how difficult the situation is.
I was telling her about where you live in England, that your home is in your village.
May doesn't respond to these questions, and again, it's almost as if she's kind of this information sinking in. She's trying to feel at home, even though she should feel at home because it's her mother's home. She doesn't feel comfortable there. She's centrally framed, but in a shallow focus, so it shows that she doesn't feel like she quite fits in yet.
That you are studying astronomy.
The fact that May's studying astronomy shows that she's doing very well for herself. She's very intelligent, and she's being educated to hopefully have a very good future career, which is more than what her brothers might face, because obviously he's been arrested, and the mother obviously is from a very poor background.
She's very surprised by that.
In the background, again, we can see paraphernalia which link to the Chinese culture, like the lucky cat, the lucky fortune cat. We can still hear the hustle and bustle outside, so that ambient sound of the market, which again is a juxtaposition to the ambient sounds we heard in May's adoptive parents' house, where we could just hear the birds tweeting, which showed she was miles away from anywhere, whereas here we're in the thick of the city in a very small, cramped environment. Interestingly, May's mother doesn't actually look at May, so again, she might feel awkward or may feel some guilt about giving May up for adoption.
She wants to thank you for coming here and helping her.
Here we have a match cut as May's mother goes to collect some documentation that she wants to show May, but it shows that the bedroom's right next to the kitchen, so again shows how small this house is.
We managed to get hold of Adrian's case documents. She wants you to see them. These are the statements of the witnesses. They all say the same thing.
So we see a pan here between May's birth mother and Pan, and again it's a shallow focus, and May's not on focus, so again shows how out of the loop she is, how she doesn't feel as if she quite fits in and can't speak the language.
That your brother killed the African. May.
So we'll end the clip there. It's very rich in analysis, and hopefully this video has helped you decide and be able to pick out some of the editing and camera techniques used to represent ethnicity.